We've got two Santas for you. We've got a Wonderland Santa, which is entitled, it's Traditions and Tidings, am I correct?
Yes.
We'll also show you a Victorian Santa coming up, and that's Dreams of Christmas Past. This is your Woodland Santa. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration on this one, if you would.
Actually, you know, this is a slight departure, Dan, from what I normally do style-wise. This is more of a Victorian flavor. And I'll tell you what got me started on this is my grandparents, they had this magnificent attic full of all sorts of wonders.
Okay.
And one of the things that was up there is a collection of greeting cards that my grandmother had from her mother. And they were Victorian greeting cards that I used to absolutely love. I got into these things, and it was, you know, they had glitter, and it was, you know, these things that represented, you know, the Victorian era. And I always liked that so well, so I thought, well, I've never left that image, you know? So that's what these things are sort of based on, is the image that I saw, you know, as a kid in my grandparents' attic.
That's very cool.
And so, you know, and I've done a lot of combination of, you know, using my, you know, my sort of signature rose modeling style along with it, but it's got a little bit of an elegance that the more folk art oriented pieces don't have.
You don't normally work with the glitter, and that's been embedded here. This is your Woodland Santa. Now, do I have it right? And this is the Victorian piece?
No.
Or do I have it flipped backwards?
Well, the Woodland is when we get into the white.
Okay.
The white
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and you mentioned glitter. You know, there's a fine line here, you know, where glitter becomes either elegant or it sort of cheapens a piece.
Okay.
And the scale of the glitter that I used on this, the fine sugar, I think, you know, just sets it off in kind of a jewel tone type of way.
Yes. Yep.
And it lends itself to that Victorian look, and just sort of like the icing on the cake.
So that for people to know which one to order at home, again, we have Wonderland, and then we also have the Victorian. And they are different pieces.
Yeah.
Am I correct? This is Wonderland with the wreath?
Exactly.
And the Victorian with that, look at that old-fashioned style.
Precisely. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. That's one nice thing about this piece. It's got some dynamics because it's, you know, because of the add-on and the mixed medium and you know, around the detailing on the back, you can see all the way around with toys in the bag, and they're each one of these pieces, you know, I keep saying this, but each one of these pieces is almost like a small project unto itself.
Oh, you can tell.
And
they're all hand painted, aren't they?
They're all handmade. You know, I mean, that's one thing that I like to stress too, is the fact this isn't just pumped out of a, you know, an injection molder somewhere. I mean, these are made in sort of a studio flavor, you know, flavored,
It is true
workshop.
American artistry, and your pieces, even the new ones. We've got a lot of new pieces, like this one today. Jim, you can tell they're yours.
Yeah.
You could tell it's a Jim Shore piece. We don't have a lot of these. There's 625 of each one that were made that we're able to present to you this morning. They're priced very affordably at $43 and change. Everything in the show this morning, I don't remember ever being able to brag about this. Everything in the show has 4 easy pay payments for us as well.
Yeah, that's great, right?
And these are the perfect size.
Well, it makes it so convenient, so easy going into the season. You know, this piece that's being shown right now, that pattern that's on there is actually inspired by a Victorian era wallpaper.
Wallpaper? Okay.
Yeah. So I get inspiration like that from a lot of different directions, and I sort of have to, because I use patterning in so many different ways, and I always want it to be fresh and different, and you know, never sort of you know, a me too of something I've already done.
You've referred to Santa himself as a canvas.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And the somewhat of a challenge, I guess, in what I do is that I love this subject so much that I do it in so many different ways, but it's always got to be Santa.
You can tell by the details, and I'm going to turn this a little sideways. Keep in mind, the first sculptings are all done by hand.
Absolutely.
Now, Santa, I don't want to see a spring chicken Santa. Okay? I want to see those little tiny lines at the eyes. Look at that. The amount of detail that you put into a 10-inch sculpture, is absolutely beyond belief.
Well, you know, for anybody out there who collects my stuff, they know the approach that I take to this. It's not a commercial approach. It's
Right.
it's not for a, you know, a commission or a gallery exhibit or for some other reason other than the fact that I am passionately in love with doing this stuff.
You could tell.
And I hope it comes through. You know, I think it does.
It warms our homes during the holidays. To have a Jim Shore piece in general is wonderful. But to be able to have the newest pieces that are out there for the 2017 holiday season, and we've got them for you. Enjoy. These are incredible. Now, coming up a little bit later on, customer top rated, this is a signed piece that's an exclusive. Considering again that Jim's works are valued from across the globe, he made these only for QVC.
True.
And signed them as well at $14.98. We even have a buy more, save more of $3 on this. So that if you want to be able to buy gifts for additional people, and it's the perfect little size, that's, I think, one of the most charming pieces you do. I am thrilled to be able to introduce, if people hadn't seen these last year, this is part of the Heartwood Creek stacked figurines. And Jim